He said in his press conference, which was held with Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, he outlined the three things that were most important. The first was very interesting. He spoke of the bond between Israel and the US and said it's based on the fact that of shared values, including democracy. And then he outlined the values that were important, including an independent judiciary, including balance of powers. These are the things that are now under threat in Israel with this radical overhaul being proposed by the current government. So that was a very clear message, repeating what Antony Blinken had said, the US Secretary of State, when he was here. You know, America is concerned about the changes that you wish to make right now to the judiciary, and we can see the protests arising as a result of that. So he also spoke about the Palestinians in that clip that you played, that we heard, and he made it clear that this is another aspect that America really wants to make a change for right now, ahead of the holidays of Ramadan, which is now some 2 weeks away. The other thing that he spoke about was Iran. So did Israel's defense minister. And they said, he repeated what President Biden had said, which is that there will not be a nuclear Iran. And it's clear that how to deal with that, what to do about the fact that Iran is now assisting Russia in the war in Ukraine, providing it with ammunition and weapons. What to do about all of that was part of a very long discussion between the two.
Indeed, and as you mentioned a bit earlier, Irris, this all Lloyd Austin's visit happening amid these major protests in Israel over the judicial reform. And I mentioned that Benjamin Netanyahu even struggled to get to Tel Aviv airport today. Such was the scale of the protests. I suppose that just tells you how mobilized and how angry Israelis are about the measures he's trying to push through.
That's right. It's a very mobilised population. I've been away for a little while. I thought that the protests might die down. It's the opposite. There's more anger and there's more protests and there's more feeling amongst people than I expected on my return. And it was interesting today that the main highway, the Tel Aviv-Jerusalem highway, was blocked both ways, north and south. And that meant that not only that Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, had to be airlifted in a helicopter to reach the airport to meet Lloyd Austin, but Lloyd Austin had to change his schedule too. He was meant to come last night, have the usual diplomatic dinner, and none of that happened. He came this morning directly to the airport. That was where he met the Israeli politicians, let them figure out how to get to the airport, and now he's leaving without having really done much more than be at the airport to have these discussions. So it's a huge... These protests and these proposed reforms, which are going ahead at lightning speed, by the way, are taking a huge toll on every aspect of Israeli life.
Quite a moment in